Hello, everyone. It is I, Trinity. I just want to thank my lurkers for being here. I want to thank Pong Soul for stopping by before he had to go to bed. I'm sure it's been a long day for him. But thank you, Pong, for stopping by to say hi. I appreciate it, man. And Silent Angel, not Silent Angel. Where did that come from? Rewind, my bad. The Breathtaking one, my bad, will be here in 5 minutes. So Cyber Gunter, welcome, sir. So today we are going to talk about a few topics, and hopefully everybody can see me okay. It looks like my thing has froze. Okay, hold it. Hopefully everybody can see me okay. All right, let's make sure everything's rolling here. Okay. Anyway, gotta keep the ball rolling. So today we are going to talk about, again, welcome Cyber Gunter for being here. Today we are going to talk about boss battles. How boss fights within gaming can be, you know, challenging. It could be a pain in the butt, but I wanted to talk about, just for fun, like how these boss battles in games make us stronger in a way as well, even though they can be annoying as hell. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about like our favorite boss battles from the past to the present. There's only a few that I can think of off the top of my head. But I'm sure there's like games like Dark Souls people have played, and you know, it could be Halo, it could be anything. There's a lot of games out there that I haven't played yet that has had like huge boss battles, especially like God of War, stuff like that. So I would love to talk about that while we're still waiting for Spooky here. So boss battle wise, we're gonna start in the past. Now, growing up, I grew up with like Mario games, right? So of course the original bad OG is Bowser. So Bowser back in the day was I guess he wasn't too hard to beat. He was pretty simplified to beat, you know, but I haven't played like every single boss battle out there Mario wise. Only the one, like Super Mario Sunshine, I've played boss battles on there, Super Mario Land, etc, etc. But Bowser was pretty fun. He was pretty fun boss battle. And then let's see who else. Like when it came to like the Donkey Kong games, those boss battles were pretty cool as well. Pretty simplified as well. And then we're gonna go to like, I don't know, let's go to like like Dreamcast games, like Sonic Adventure. Like those freaking boss battles are freaking fun. I don't think I've ever found like certain boss battles from Sonic hard, really. I think there would be like a few that's a pain in the butt, but that's about it. So those are pretty fun. I would love to fight bosses like from games of like God of War. I don't have a PlayStation. I used to have a PlayStation 2, but that was it. But it died on me like years later. But bosses from the games God of War, Gears of War, I love bosses like that. Big ass bosses. I would love to see more huge bosses like you would see from God of War in games. Unfortunately, even though it seemed like I was going to get my wish on that when they were going to create Scalebound, because I know the bosses in there were going to be huge, like that crab. When they showed the demo, that big old huge crab, I was like, yes, this is what I was talking about, you know, with the big ass bosses. But unfortunately that didn't fall through. But anyway, it would be great to fight bosses like that. Games like Shadow of the Colossus. Now, Shadow of the Colossus on PlayStation was pretty challenging, but in a good way. I loved how, because I think you had to fight like 12 or 13 Colossus. I think, I don't remember because I only played it one time, but that was quite a journey playing that game, and I loved seeing the different colossus that took the likeness of like a bird, a snake, a worm, a dog. You know, they kind of look like just these different types of creatures. You know, one of my favorite ones was the I didn't like the worm, the sandworm. That one was pretty cool because you got to ride a horse and shoot an arrow at it or whatever. Excuse me. But I think the bird one was one of my favorites as well, where he would like swoop down, you have to grab on him, you know, and stab him. That was a fun battle on Shadow of the Colossus. And then there was one that was actually faster than the other Colossus, because every Colossus had like its own speed. You would have ones that are slow. Then there was one that, I think the one that was like a dog, I think that one was fast. Because he would like run after you, charge after you. And he would like run into like rock or something or whatever, and you would have to like stumble until you would have to shoot him like in his weak spot. Anyway, I thought the very last Colossus, I thought that Colossus was, I don't know, I was expecting something else. I thought the very last Colossus was weird. I remember that because I was like, this Colossus is not like all the other ones that I fought. This one's more like, I don't know, kind of like a robot or something, like, no, don't, you know, like a robot. So I was like, this one's different, but okay, I gotta slay this one. But when I got to his head and he started like swaying and stuff, that was pretty cool, but I thought that was a very different one. But anyway, Shadow of the Colossus is another example of another game that had wonderful challenging boss fights that I would never forget. It's one of those memorable games, and it gave me, I don't know, it gave me like, when I played it, it kind of reminded me of because I always talk about this game when I talk about, you know, inspirational games that inspired me. Shadow of the Colossus reminded me of life. It doesn't matter how big that obstacle is in your way, you can still conquer it if you believe in yourself enough, you know, if you believe enough, and fight hard for the ones you love. Because basically the boy was sacrificing himself to save the love of his life, and it was like a love story. It was tragic, but it was a love story, you know. And I thought that was very deep. Shadow of the Colossus is a very deep game. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to play Eco, which is related to it, and what's the other one that has, I think it's called The Last Guardian. It has like that dog like creature. Oh, that game looks so cute. Oh, but I know Eco and The Last Guardian is related to Shadow of the Colossus, but I think Shadow of the Colossus is like technically the I think it's like the, because I'm not sure if Shadow of the Colossus came out first and then Eco and Last Guardian, or it was Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, and Last Guardian in that order. But I'm guessing, I gotta do my research on that, but I'm guessing Shadow of the Colossus came out first, but I could be wrong. But I think in the story order, it goes Eco, The Last Guardian, and then Shadow of the Colossus when he's older. So I think that's like the correct technical order. But yeah, one of these days I would love to play Eco in Last Guardian, most definitely. Oh yeah, and then I remember the secret ending that they have in Shadow of the Colossus. Not a lot of people know about, because I looked it up years ago when I was a teenager. You climb that castle building that the love of his life was laying in. You climb like the outside of it, but there's a certain part you climb on the castle, and then you climb up like all the way up to the top, and I think you have to shimmy, but you climb up all the way to the top until you see like a garden. It's like a little garden area, and then it's like a secret ending or something like that, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And I think he turns into a baby or something. Like, it's like a cycle. Like he's born again type of thing. From what I remember. It was a long time ago. But anyway, that's one of the games that I really loved. And then I'm trying to think of some other games that I've played. Gears of War. Oh my gosh, Gears of War. War is so metal. I love Gears of War. The freaking bosses in that game is just, there's like a let's see if I remember off the top of my head. Let's see. I dislike corpsers. Like, I don't like spiders. So when I remember seeing the corpse or whatever you call that damn thing, little like fingers, I said, oh, hell to the no, but I sure will black out and kill one, okay? So I have to admit, even though I don't like those corpsers, those were epic battles. And storyline wise, it's really sad how a lot of people died by those things, that especially children. Like that had to be nightmarish. And in the story, you would read like little notes that you would find in Gears of how people would get raided by these corpsers, and kids would have nightmares about them and stuff, draw pictures of them. I'm like, that's so sad. I couldn't even imagine. Let's see what else. The worm, when we had to rescue I had to rescue one of the Carmines. Oh my gosh, there's always a Carmine getting killed, except for this last one, the badass one. I think it was Benjamin. But anyway, when we had to try and rescue one of the Carmines that unfortunately did not make it, that sucked. But the worm battle was freaking sick, because we had to cut out, I think, 3 hearts, I think. So yeah, that was really, really epic. I will never forget that. That was actually one of my favorite boss battles, because that big old gigantic worm, you got to jump in his mouth and stuff or whatever. I'm trying to think what else was an awesome battle. All the bosses we had to fight, basically all the boss fights in Gears in general are awesome, but the worm takes the cake for me. In the last Gears game, those boss fights were awesome as well. Because every Gears game, I think I've only played through one time. I think I could be wrong. I could have gone back and played the campaign again on one of them, but definitely Gears of War in general, their boss fights are metal. Love them. When it comes to fighting games, oh my gosh, it could be so freaking frustrating at times, but you know what, they make you stronger. When it comes to like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, when you're fighting the final boss, oh my gosh, you gotta like try and not rush when you go in. You gotta take your time. You gotta read read how they move, all that stuff. So boss battles like that I love, because for those who do not know, I mostly love fighting games, racing games, shooters. I love shooters. Anything rhythm, stuff like that. So I love all types of games, but fighting games, shooters, and racing games are my main. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm trying to think of some other I should have made a list, because sometimes I forget. I'll leave stuff out, but that's okay. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, what's that beautiful game? Lost in Random. Oh my gosh. Okay. Lost in Random was kind of confusing at first, because you have to use like certain cards that represent like the power you're going to use towards an enemy, right? And you have like the option, what's up, Geeks with Cash? Welcome. So you have so like oh well, thank you for lurking. So you have like with the cards, you have to swap. Well, you have a choice of swapping out the cards on Lost and Random, and then Spooky, you there, babe?
I am here. Hello.
Yay! Hey, babe, welcome. Glad you're able to make it.
Yeah, I just got through the door, peoples. I was out and about, having a bit of a somber moment. Now I went and visited my granddad's grave today.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good. I hadn't been out there for a little bit. But no, it was good. It was a bit of a family turnout, and we all had a few drinks and a few scotches and stuff, you know, celebrate. And yeah, no, it was good. Now I'm here.
Oh, welcome, my love. I'm glad that you had a good time with family.
Second.
You're welcome. You're so adorable. We have, by the way, Pong. He just stopped by to say hi, but he had to go to bed because he's a busy man. He's all over the place. Bless his heart. Cyber is in the chat. Cyber Gunter's in the chat. Oh. So we have Cyber and we have Geeks with Cash in chat, and then I'm sure there's other.
That's good. That's good. Cyber. That's good, Geeks.
Oh goodness. So yeah, we have some awesome people in chat with us. I was just going over since the topic is like a boss battles are basically, of course, talking about our favorite boss battle moments from the past, the present. And Cyber Gunter says, up spooky. So I was just talking about boss battles because I went Halo. I was mentioning fighting games, and then I was talking about Gears of War, how all the epic Gears of War battles are so memorable, especially like the worm one, which was one of my favorite. That one was metal, where we had to jump in and save one of the Carmines. Gosh, that was an epic one. And we had to cut out like, I think 3 of the worm's hearts or something. That was sick. I love that. I would do that again in a heartbeat. But I was just mentioning like how I get into racing games, shooters, fighters, and I get into all other games, but those are my 3 main that I love. When it comes to the racing games, those could be crazy taxi. No, but you do it better than I can. But but yeah, when it comes to the racing,
it's a crazy taxi.
I love it. No, but when it comes to the racing games, those can be tricky because it's all about timing, and you gotta try not to hit anything. You gotta get your drifting right, all that stuff. And I've been playing racing games for years. That's why I'm excited for the new Need for Speed Unbound. What, love?
Have you told them about more recent boss battles? Because I can think of a game that we're both playing right now that's got some interesting fucking boss battles.
Oh, are you talking about Grounded?
Yes, I am.
Oh my gosh.
Most recent memory that has to have some of the best boss battles in it. That praying mantis, it looks like it's going to be a bunch of trouble and a bunch of fun to take down.
Yes.
The brood mother is quite challenging to take down. Heck, even just I mean, it's not considered a boss, but I'd consider it a boss just because you small, it's big, and it's vicious.
Alex.
The wolf spider,
yeah,
is a bit of a boss battle. I guess you could consider it like a mini boss battle in a sense, like,
it is.
Because it ain't exactly easy like a few other things in there to take down. You know what I mean? Like the soldier ant's relatively easy to take down, but that bloody wolf spider, yeah, think again.
Yeah, I don't even know how the black ants are gonna be. I think they might be worse than the red ones because these ants don't play.
I have a feeling they probably will be. Yeah. I have a feeling they probably will be.
Yes.
But yeah, that's like a more recent game that's got you know, that fits this category that we're talking about with boss battles because, you know, if you haven't got there yourself or if anybody's seen Colt Eastwood's video of him taking on that damn praying mantis,
which was epic.
That's going to be a heck of a challenge. Yeah, it's going to be an epic challenge to take that damn thing down.
Yes.
And he was doing it with 4 people. He was doing it with 4 people, and they were still struggling. You know, they got there in the end, but they were still struggling.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, and you got to make sure you have the right stuff. You got to make sure you're strapped. Make sure you got a lot of healing potions, all that stuff, because that mantis is not playing. Okay, like, and plus there's little spiders that I believe I've seen in the video that was coming out in the middle of that battle too. That you know, you got to smash. During that whole fight process. So yeah, that's gonna be epic. I can't wait to do that as well. I think they added some other bosses too, babe, to Grounded, but I can't think of like which bugs. I think one of them's a beetle. I think I could be wrong. But it's something new.
There's definitely been some games over the years that have had some epic boss encounters, like the Monster Hunter series. It's got some epic boss encounters.
Thank you for reminding me. Yeah,
they've got some epic boss battles. So is now I haven't played the game myself yet, but I've seen enough footage to be able to tell this. Elden Ring seems to have some epic boss battles as well, but that seems typical of From Software game. I'm a big Dark Souls fan, like the original Dark Souls, and that had some amazing boss battles where it really put you through your paces. You really had to. It was probably good that you died the first few times because you kind of learnt from it and learnt strategies. Okay, so this isn't where. All right.
Now
so
what to do, what not to do, type of thing.
Yeah. So you know, The Witcher 3 had some epic boss battles. A lot of those bigger games generally do have some decent boss battles. And of course, like you want to go way back. One of the first lot of epic boss encounters I can remember would have to be the Mortal Kombat franchise. Especially when you did the ladder. Yeah, you're just fighting people and you got to go right up, and each battle is harder and harder and harder, more difficult. You know, so
Yobi.
Peace, love, life, brother. Peace, love, life, Yobi. So yeah, Mortal Kombat for sure. I always used to love those. I actually thought they were harder in the day actually than even more recent. I know they still have that same mode, the ladder mode where
the ladder was one of my favorites, even though it was hard.
Yeah, climbing to the top. But I just remember back in the day. I reckon they were twice as hard that ladder mode back in the day than even what it is now. I kind of flew through the latest one, and I was like, it seems a little bit easy to what I remember as a kid or even as a teenager.
I know, why it's changed. Yeah.
Indeed. Oh, and one that me and you can't forget because we've talked about it so many times. The boss battles in the original Turtles games. They were some really, really great fights.
Yes.
And not as easy as, what you may have thought when you sit and probably initially back, we'll do all right. It'd probably be challenging, but it'd be all right. But damn, sometimes Shredder and a few of the others were really hard. Took a few turns just to take them down.
Shredder was Shredder was the only. I was telling Spooky this. Shredder was the only one that had a banging soundtrack. I said, why didn't they do this for the other boss fights? He's the only one that has the hip hop one. I'm like, where did this come from? It was random. Like, I'm like, where'd this come from?
I know.
It was sick though, but I'm like, why didn't they do it for the other battles? But I'm like, that's okay. That's okay. They want to give it that old school feel, so I get it.
he gets the cool music, you know, because it's Shredder. He also gets the cool nicknames like, what's Mikey's nickname for the Shred Dude, as Mikey
Sure.
likes to call him, the Shred Dude.
Yeah, the shred dude. Yeah, that was
The Shred
definitely.
Dude.
Oh my goodness. Um. Oh, what was like? Oh. So, are there some other? Because there was one that I had in mind, but it just my mind just went blank. Are there some other boss battles, babe, that you remember from back in the day that was
Um,
rememberable that stuck with you?
yeah. Resident Evil. Resident Evil, was it 2 or 3? Where you got to take on Nemesis. I know they kind of cut out the fight in the newer one, but in the original one, where you got to literally battle the big badass.
Literally.
Yeah, that was a challenge. That was a bloody challenge. I'll give it that. That was a really good challenge. What else? There's been so many good games over the years with decent boss battles. Obviously, some of the Halos have had some wicked final boss fights too.
Indeed. Oh yeah, those are most definitely memorable.
Yeah. What else have you got out there? I'm just trying to think now.
I should have made a list. That's what I should have done, but I was doing other things.
Yeah. Street Fighter, I guess you could say, like once you got to M Bison, that was generally always a tough go around.
Yeah, I mentioned Street Fighter.
So I'd throw them in there. The Doom games have had some wicked boss fights. A part of them.
Oh, I see. I've never played Doom like that, so I can't say. But I do have the latest Doom, though. I need to get back into that.
Yeah, Doom Eternal. Yeah, very.
Yeah,
very
Eternal. And I like the eyeball. I forgot the name of that enemy, but it looks like an eyeball. For some reason, he looks badass. I love the way he looks. And the dog looking one. He looks sick too.
Yeah. Trying to think now. What else? What's it called? Boss battles in some of the Yakuza boss battles.
So you would know about that. I haven't played Yakuza yet.
Yeah, some of them can be quite intense. And especially with Like a Dragon too. Like a Dragon, there's a part where you take on one of your former teammates who's
snap.
swap sides, yeah. But the other dude that he comes in with has like double, triple the size of the health bar of everybody, and it takes ages just to knock him down. Like his health, it takes ages.
So he has like one of those long health bars.
Yeah,
that looks endless.
And it's like, yeah, and like every shot takes like the most minuscule amount off of his health, and it's like he does one bloody shot to you, and there goes 3/4 of your health. You know, I mean not quarter of your health. You know, so.
Oh my gosh.
I'll use the word. It's a bitch of a fight. It really is. It's a real bitch of a fight. It took me 7 goes before I finally freaking
7. Dang, it was like that.
7 attempts, yeah.
Oh, you know it's serious if it takes you that many. Dang.
Yeah. It took a bit, and you kind of I kind of found on the last go, because I wasn't doing it before, and I was like, okay, I'll take everyone else out first, and then just leave this guy, which seemed to work well, even though, as I said, it came down to the wire. It was so close. Like, if he had to hit me, fight had to restart again, obviously. But I managed to get the final hit in, thank God.
Oh my gosh. See, I want to get Elden Ring. I know they said it's like, because I've never played Dark Souls. I do own the very first Dark Souls because the game's gold. For some odd reason, I couldn't get it past the guy in the beginning. I do not know why. I was freaking quarterbacking homeboy, and I still got hit one time. Like I'm dead. I'm like, are you serious? But Elden Ring looks really awesome. It looks challenging, and I love the size of the bosses on there because I've seen everybody beast on that game. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna add this game to my list. I don't care how many times I'm gonna die. I will earn that fight, like for real. So the Elden Ring is definitely on my list to get. So, but for right now, I'm working on my backlog. And plus, we're gonna be getting I'm gonna actually be streaming when it comes out Gotham Knights. So I'm gonna be streaming that soon. I'm excited for that, most definitely, but we'll be talking about that later. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some other boss fights. I mentioned Street Fighter. Mortal Kombat was definitely challenging sometimes, but again, it made you stronger. You know what I mean? It's about reading your opponent and all that. So yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think. So I guess we can go ahead and talk about Scorn, which comes out tomorrow, I believe.
Tomorrow.
I am so super excited. I did my research and done my research and found like what the game's gonna be about, just in case people are not sure. They're like, I don't know what it's gonna be about, but it sure looks awesome. So it's a first-person horror adventure game set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. It is designed around the idea of being thrown into the world. Isolated and lost inside this dreamlike world, we will explore different interconnected regions in a non-linear fashion. So that's how they describe the game. And then of course they have like some teaser footage of like what to expect, which mostly looks like sacrifices, because you see homeboy putting his arm in things, you see him taking out like his intestines or something, whatever he's pulling out his body. So it's like he's using his body to like unlock things. But it looks really gritty, it looks bloody, and I'm like, this looks awesome. This looks like my kind of game. Kind of gives me like an alien feel, you know what I mean? Cyber Gunter says, I just Dead Space 2008, can't wait to play the remake in January 2023. Oh, you know what? I've never played Dead Space. I have not played Dead Space before, but the game looks freaking metal. And the excuse me, what babe, what's the name of that game that you and I are into, that horror game that's like Dead Space? What's it called?
Callisto Protocol.
Callisto Protocol, thank you.
Is that?
I am most definitely looking forward to playing that. Most definitely. I love how you can use your environment, destroying these I forgot who they are. I guess they used to be on a ship or something. They got mutated. But anyway, I just love how you can use your environment and just be creative with it and try and survive. But that game looked like it was made with love, lots of love. So I'll be looking forward to, streaming that as well. Cyber says, I want Gotham Knights. We're going to get into Gotham Knights. You best believe we're going to talk about that. But yeah, Scorn looks like it's going to be a really sacrificial game where, again, you're going to be sacrificing like parts of your body to unlock things. And the weaponry, I don't know what you're going to do with the weapons, but I don't know. It just looks really cool. That's all I can say. I know we haven't seen much on the game, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Geeks with Cash says, if you're into indie and more 16-bit styled games, see, Karen is really, really good. It's not new, but it's a very good game. Oh, okay. I'll look into that. Thanks for bringing that up. So spooky. What are your thoughts so far? I know we haven't seen much, but what are your thoughts on Scorn? What are you looking forward to?
Definitely something that the minute we're shown, I thought, yeah, this is right up my alley, being a big horror and science fiction fan. So, I'm expecting it to be, obviously that dark, gritty, creepy vibe. It's got me intrigued because from everything that I've seen of it, it kind of gives me Prometheus vibes, like as in the movie Prometheus.
That's a good example. Yeah.
Yes. So, which I absolutely loved the Aliens movies and everything. Prometheus being basically a prequel to, it's set about before Aliens, with Ripley and all that. So I'm intrigued. I'm very, very intrigued. It's definitely going for a little bit something different with that in the genre. I feel with what they're sort of trying to achieve. But I'm really intrigued and interested to delve into it. I know it's not going to give me any jump scares.
Naturally.
I tried my best to allow Resident Evil 7, for Christ's sakes, to give me some jump scares. I just sat there laughing the whole time, and everybody else was getting jump scares. But I mean, that's unfortunately, being right into horror like I am, it's very rare to get that these days. Hence why I don't like going into like haunted houses and stuff like that, because I kind of feel for the people in it. They're not really doing their job when it pertains to me, and so I don't really want to put them off their game either. I have a tendency, folks, to go into haunted houses and horror houses, and I make the people in there acting shit their pants because they don't see me coming. I see them a mile away. But
Translation: you should be working there.
I've been asked several times by the people that run there, well, you come and do it. You scared the crap out of people. I said, yeah, I know. I might enjoy it a bit too much, probably.
Enjoyed it a bit too much. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I love giving people a fright. I get giggle out of it. But, again, that's why I love Halloween. I have an absolute blast still, even at my age now, for Halloween. It's like my favourite holiday. Because I could dress up as anything I want, and scare the pants off of kids and off of people. But no, Scorn looks right up. Yeah, Scorn looks right up my alley, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Most
As
definitely.
said, it's got that Prometheus vibes, and it's, I love that mixture of horror and sci-fi, and that's what it's got the mixture of. So definitely we'll be checking that out tomorrow.
Yes. They're supposed to be coming out. I don't know if it's going to be on console. I gotta double check. I know it's going to be on PC. And I think it's coming out this year. It's a game where you have to outrun a train that is actually a spider. It's called Choo Choo something. I just now thought about this.
Choose me. No.
Choo. No, but you can upgrade your train. You have to outrun him and fight him. I think you can shoot stuff at him, but he's like in spider form, but his body's a train, and he has like teeth like Pennywise, and they're like all huge and bloody, and you can hear him too. Like, so if you're like somewhere trying to gather items or whatever, and you hear like this noise, he's nearby. So he's like, yeah. I was like, that game is freaking creepy. I would play that. Go ahead, babe.
I was going to say, if there's any devs out there listening, or people that know devs, pass this message on from Spooky. I want a bloody Terrify video game. I want to run around as Art the Clown. Oh. I really do. Yeah. No horror clown tops that motherfucker. Excuse the language, but no. Pennywise was my number one horror clown for years until Art the Clown came along, and no horror clown is as brutal or as creepy or as sadistic and weird and wonderful as he is. And it seems to be getting, like, I know that the first lot of movies with him were like sort of more independent movies, but this second one seems to have I think it might have had a bigger budget and fanfare in it. So, you know, if he's a popular little character, and I thought to myself, now, Christ, if you're going to make a game on an 80s movie that, unless people watched it back then, not a lot of people think about it these days in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So it was such a smaller title, even though it is a cult classic. When it was released, it was critically bloody panned. It didn't do well at all. It's funny, a lot of these cult classics usually are, that is the case. They're usually complete crap and do crap at the cinemas and everything, and then all of a sudden they get a cult behind, following behind it. So if they could do something as small as that from back then, maybe one day, maybe in the next 10 years, I might get my wish. as art's popularity starts climbing.
Hey, you never know. I know, like, you mentioned Terrifier to me, and I've never heard of it until, you mentioned it, and so I researched it, and I was like, I would watch this.
Yeah.
But I heard
if it was ever a game.
Go ahead,
I was going to say, if it was ever a game, it would have to be rated R like Manhunt, because
I played Manhunt.
The stuff that you would be able to do as Art the Clown, you could not have the game not rated R.
Yeah, that's crazy. Cyber says, give me a Freddy Krueger game. You know what? I had an awesome idea for a Freddy Krueger game years ago. I wish I would have wrote it down. I was trying to, I had a company in mind that I could see work on it, but I should have wrote it down. It was genius. Let's see if I remember. I think I had an idea of where you can pick a character, right? It could be girl, boy, whatever, or you can work in groups. And you would all I don't know, fall asleep or something. You end up in a dream, and you're searching for Freddy, and you gotta try and survive. You know what I mean? And he ends up in different random places. It was something like that. I should have wrote it down. It was genius, and I can't even think of the company. It'll come back to me if I remember. I'll share it with you guys. But I would love to see a Freddy game. That would be freaking epic, because we've seen Friday the 13th games and stuff. I'm like, where's Freddy at? So that would be cool. Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, Terrifier. I heard the second one was really good, and I heard it was bloodier than the first. And then I heard people had trouble digesting their food when they watched it. People actually got sick. They had to walk out of the movie theater. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
In their eyes.
Yeah.
And so
sounds about right.
Yeah, so I heard that that the girl that played in it did a really, really good job. I haven't seen her before, but yeah, I heard she kicked ass in that movie. I'm like, man, now I want to see it. And then Spooky was telling me that for right now you can only see it in the movie theater, which I didn't know. I thought I could watch it on Netflix or something or whatever, but for right now it's in the movie theater. So that's where you can find Terrifier 2. The first one, I'm not sure. I gotta try and see if I can watch that somewhere, but I don't know if they're gonna make any more Terrifiers. I don't know. I guess we'll have to watch the second one to find out, but I'm interested. And I was telling Spooky, if I grew up watching Hellraiser, and Nightmare on Elm Street, all these other movies, Poltergeist, I can watch Terrifier. Hell, I watch Saw. I love Saw. That's, one of my favorite movies. So if I can get through all those, I can get through Terrifier. So, there's even people that mentioned, on Twitter, speaking of Terrifier, how I think one person said, hey, if I can sit through Centipede, I can watch this movie. I was like, oh, Centipede. Yeah, I heard about that movie.
Yeah, the
I've
human
seen
centipede
clips.
there.
Yeah, I've seen clips from Centipede, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I have my
It's an
limits.
interesting movie, and there is a sequel. I've watched both, and it's probably best to watch it in the foreign language where it was initially bloody made instead of the dub copy and everything, because I kind of cut a bit of the brutality out of it. But yeah, it was. Yeah, if put it this way, if you had a queasy stomach or got queasy pretty easy, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Oh, I have a strong stomach. Like, if there was a movie you wanted to see, I'd watch it with you anyway. I would. I'm open to that. So, yeah, I've seen clips of it though, and I was like, did he just put his mouth? Oh, did he? Okay, he just did. Okay, that just happened. I'm like, what the hell is it? Oh, okay. So yeah, I was. Yeah, you have to have a strong stomach, most definitely, especially for that kind of movie as well. But yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah, I grew up watching a whole bunch of horror movies because of my mom. But her excuse was she just wanted to see if the fool would get away. Meaning the person that, the
Yes.
victim. So she was like, I don't think you should watch these with me because you'll get nightmares. Nah, I'll be all right. She'll tell me to close my eyes. I'm like, nah, I'm okay. And I'm just sitting there. So yeah, so I got into horror movies because of my mom, and she didn't mean to get me into them, but I was, interested. So I started watching like Hellraiser and Puppet Master, Poltergeist, all these other movies. So yeah, that's how I got into that. But anyway, let's get into, let's see, I wrote my notes down here so I don't forget. Okay, so now we are going to talk about Gotham Knights. So Spooky, what are you expecting from Gotham Knights? Like, what are you hoping that you'll see from this game?
Well, for starters, I just before I delve into what I'm excited about and that, I've seen a few. I'll say a few around on social, sort of tearing into this game, keep comparing it to Rocksteady's Batman. I wish people would stop doing that because it's not Rocksteady that's even making it.
Right.
Okay, so the devs behind it, I wouldn't say have fully tried to encapsulate and copy the Batman Arkham combat system. They've obviously been inspired by it, but obviously have put their own sort of, twist and take on it, again, because this is not Rocksteady. Rocksteady are making the new Suicide Squad. So it would make more sense for people, or the people out there that are comparing this game to the Arkham series, to stop doing that. And if you want to compare a game to the Arkham series, then do it with Suicide Squad because it's made by the exact same team. So therefore, I'm expecting the combat in that game to be literally identical down to a T to the Arkham series because, let's face it, nobody has done such a great job on a superhero combat system as Rocksteady. They nailed it for the Arkham series. So I'm interested to see what this team and Warner Brothers, what their combat system is going to be like. Mm-hmm. Because I won't judge it from videos like some people are doing, and that's exactly what people are. Oh, it doesn't look good. Well, wait till you get it in your hand and play it first.
Exactly.
And see what it's like.
Oh my gosh, it drives me nuts.
I've had people whinging about the way the slide looks. Said again, you're watching it from a video that could be captured from, on any capture card. Wait till you get it home on your own HD or your own 4K TV, and then go from there. Right? To me, it looks good. Graphically, you know, I was expecting still that cartoon look. It's very similar to the Arkham games. And we are talking about comic characters here, so, you know, anybody that was complaining, I've seen complaining about, oh, it doesn't look so it's comics. It's comics, people, come on. But it looks good. It looks good. I've been excited since the announcement. I'm a huge DC fan, so I've had this pre-ordered from the get-go. I was always going to get it. So I'm excited. I'm just interested to see how each character of the 4 characters feel different. You know, obviously we're all any of us that are picking the game up, we're all going to give each character a try. See which character feels the best to us, obviously, but we're going to give them all a try. So I want to see how that, you know, each character feels different. I'm intrigued by, you know, the story behind it. You know, obviously in this, very similar to the upcoming TV show that's going to be starting soon. You know, Bruce Wayne's dead, so this is the new superhero team that's taking over his place. So I'm interested to follow that story. But the other big thing for me is they said that for the first time ever, this is a big open world Gotham. So you'll be able to explore pretty much every inch of that city, which you still could explore, you know, in the Arkham series, but see, it wasn't open world. You know, it's more that closed off story.
You're limited.
You sort of, yeah, you saw the areas that you were currently in at that point in time of the story. This, by the sounds of it, is just going to let you roam around if you really just want to roam around. So that intrigues me. Gotham's going to be an amazing big playground. That's the way I'm going to treat it, a big playground. So yeah, I'm all in for it. And Christ, it only needs to be good, you know. It's not a game that, again, needs to blow people's socks or blow your mind, and it doesn't need to be amazing. It just needs to be good, and it needs to be fun. And I think it will. I think it will easily be good and fun. You know, so. Like any new game that comes out, don't worry about half the bloody reviews you see out there. Just make the judgment yourself. And if you're a DC fan, and you know, Christ, if it plays half as well as the Rocksteady games, again, I'll emphasise it's not Rocksteady doing this, but if it plays half as good as them, then you've got a game on your hands. That's where I'll leave it on that. It only needs to be half as bloody good. And you've got a good game, because as I said, those Arkham games were fantastic. So yeah, I can't wait. That comes out end of next week, I'm pretty sure.
It does. Yeah, it's gonna be streaming the crap out of that. Cyber asks, it's Montreal, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's Montreal.
And Jesse says thanks.
Right, yeah.
And welcome, Jesse B, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Jesse! And Montreal's a good team. It is a great little team. But again, they should be judged on their own merits. And yeah, I'm just sick of seeing people going, it doesn't look or it doesn't feel, you know, like Rocksteady's games. Well, for starters, how the bloody hell can you tell that from watching a video?
Exactly.
Are you playing the game? It's in your hands? Are you feeling it yourself? Are you actually in the game feeling it yourself and have you played the other games to be able to tell, you know? And it's just like, nah, this is going to be its own game on its own merit by its own team. Looks fine. And obviously, as I said, once you get it in your hands, you'll be able to know how it plays too. But, you know, it's a bit hard to judge from video. The gameplay looks fine to me from videos, again, but, I mean, I'm always the same. I don't judge off a video. I'd rather judge off of playing the thing myself.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me when people judge a game they haven't even touched yet. That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
That's like looking at food.
No,
Oh, that looks nasty. Have you tasted it? No, but it looks nasty. Oh my gosh. Taste it. See what you think.
Yeah.
Oh, this tastes good. Exactly. Now shut up. Oh my gosh. Jesse B says hola or holla. Whatever. I think he meant holla. I've already said that too. If it's like Avengers, I'm all in. Hola. We be in. Avengers. Oh, Jesse, why'd you remind me? Last time I played Avengers, Jesse, I think I stopped on. I don't think I'm in the middle yet. I was using Iron Man, so that's where I'm at. And then they came out with Black Panther, Wakanda. So they came out with Black Panther. I tried him out for a little bit, and then I deleted the game because there were some other games that I was interested in, and I need the space. So I haven't gone back to the Avengers yet. I need to. One of these days, I'll work on that again. But for right now, it's on pause. So, yeah. But yeah, this Gotham Knights. I don't know about you, babe, but I'm gonna start out with Batwoman, or is it Batgirl? She going by Batgirl or Batwoman?
I think it's. Hang on. I'll double check. I want to say Batgirl. Hang on a second.
Yeah. Okay. Spooky is always researching. I love it when he researches. I would do it myself.
Yes,
but
it is. Yes, it is. It's Batgirl, aka Jim Gordon's daughter, Barbara Gordon.
Okay, Batgirl. So yeah, I'm gonna be starting out with Batgirl, and then when I beat the game with her, I think I'm gonna do Nightwing next. What, baby?
Yeah, I've already picked the two characters. I will play Batgirl eventually, but the two characters I'm definitely going to start with. Well, going to go old school first. I'll go Batman sidekick of many moons, Robin. That's who I'm going to play straight out of the gate, and then I will play as Damian Wayne as Nightwing.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably play as The last one I'll play as probably is Red Hood, because I like Red Hood, but out of the four of the characters, he's least, of my favourites out of the four, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Red Hood. So, I just think the other three characters seem a little bit more interesting, but everybody has their favourite, and so yeah, that's the way I'm going to do it. But definitely Robin and Nightwing straight off the bat for me.
Did you see the video on Nightwing, like how he plays? I love his style, his fighting combat. I seen Red Hood. I seen a little bit of Red Hood. Batgirl is off the chain. All of them look good, but Nightwing, and Robin.
Those two are gonna be badass.
Hell yeah, I'm so looking forward to that. And this game you can play with friends, I believe too. I don't know how many.
Yeah.
Up to 4. Oh, must have been an oopsie. Spooky will be back. But yeah, I think you're able to play up to like 4, or have up to 4 people up on there, I think. So that's gonna be epic. Welcome back, my love. So yeah, up to 4 people, I believe. But yeah, It's gonna be freaking epic. I can't wait. Oh my gosh, gonna be streaming the crap out of that game. But I think I'm gonna stream it until I beat the game with every character. That's how hardcore I'm gonna go in on this game. And then next year, you guys, everybody in chat, when Street Fighter comes out, it is on and popping. Street Fighter and I go way back. I haven't played Street Fighter in years. My nephew has Street Fighter on his PlayStation, and I was able to experience characters that I've never been introduced to before. There is one that clicked with me that I liked. I can't think of his name, but he wears a turban on his head. Rashad? I think it's Rashad. but he is freaking sick. I was like, oh my gosh. I said, if they ever come out with a Street Fighter for Xbox or whatever and he's in it, that's my boy right there. Like,
I'm guessing this is a character from Street Fighter 5, the PS exclusive one.
it's possible, yeah, because I think my nephew has that one. Yeah.
I'm trying to rack my head on that because the description you've given of the character, I'm like, yeah, that definitely doesn't sound like any of the original.
No, because that's what I'm saying. I was introduced to like all these other characters that I've never seen before. And I was like, oh my gosh, where did they come from? Because I grew up knowing the storyline of every character. So when I seen all these other characters, I felt so like way behind. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to like find out how they got into Street Fighter, their background, all of that, if they're related to somebody or not related. So I still need to study up on these people. But the new Street Fighter, I believe they're gonna be bringing those characters in. And I think they even brought back my girl. What's her name? She was from Africa. And her style is capoeira, I think. Where she's all legs. I can't think of her name, but she has like short white hair. Really short white hair. Anyway, I think they have her in there. And then they have my girl Chung-Li. She's been my girl since the beginning. They got Cammy up in there. Everybody. And then my boys, Ryu. Ken, Sagat. I don't use Sagat that much, but I love Blanca. I love the look that they gave Blanca. I love his hairstyle. I think they like shaved it on the side or something, and he's wearing like overalls. So I love the new look that they gave Blanca. And then something happened I've noticed, and Cyber says Rashad is in the game. Wow, he is famous. That dude is smooth though. I'm most definitely going to be using him though. Something happened to one of the characters. He's best friends with Guile, I think. But because half of his face was like, it looks metal or something. And then the other side is normal.
It didn't click with the phrase. I thought that's what you meant. He means Shadfire. He's talking about Shadfire.
Oh my god.
Get it? Like that's who it clicked with me. Yeah. Cyber's being cheeky. I knew I was like, I know exactly who he's referencing. That was a good one, brother. That was a good one.
You are funny. Oh my gosh. He would get a kick out of that. Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine these kids getting a kick out of it, picking the game, go, oh, Dad, what are you doing in the game?
He's gonna be like, what?
I'm in the game? What the hell?
Now they got this new chick in there. She's like I think she's like a ninja or something, but she's black. I can't think of her name. She's gonna be badass too. I'm gonna be checking her out. But
we'll just call it Trinity for the moment.
I love you. Yeah, she's gonna be badass. I love her look. I love her because she has like braids. I think she has like headphones around her neck. I love how they styled her. She's gonna be freaking sick. I've seen gameplay of her. I'm gonna be using her. And then the other feature that they added, the new features they added in this Street Fighter, what makes it so unique is it's I guess it's like open world. You can walk around, you can meet other people on the street, you can be friends with them, you can fight them. You earn street cred by doing that. You can move their face, like their facial expressions change, like when you're about to battle someone, so you can move their face around or whatever. And then you get to, no you didn't, Cyber. Cheeky. So
The shard.
You can play the Street Fighter arcades inside the game. So you can go into the arena where everybody else is hanging out, walking around, doing whatever, and you'll see an arcade machine that says Street Fighter, and you can literally sit in there and sit at the arcade machine and play the original Street Fighter with your friends and stuff. I thought that was smooth. That was awesome that they added that. So yeah, I don't know how many versions of this new Street Fighter that they're gonna have available. meaning like the standard, deluxe, whatever, I'm gonna get the highest one because that's my game, and it's gonna be awesome reuniting with all the characters and getting introduced to the new characters. Well, they'll be new to me, but you get the point. Because I'm used to the old school characters. The new ones I'm not so familiar with. But yeah, I'm so looking forward to Street Fighter. And then, babe, wasn't there another game we were both looking forward to? Like another one?
For this year or for next year?
For next year. There was another one that we're looking forward to.
Well, I know I'm definitely looking forward to the game that I and many a Harry Potter fan have been waiting on. Hogwarts Legacy.
Yes.
Hogwarts is I'm not going to say this right now until I get it in my hands, but I have this feeling Hogwarts Legacy will be Spooky's Game of the Year for 2023.
Can be whatever you want, baby. That's right.
Yep, and I say this knowing full well that I'm just as excited for Starfield, and that comes out next year. But
oh yeah, Starfield.
Damn it!
That's another one.
Damn it! Yeah, damn it! I haven't been waiting as long as for Starfield as I have for Hogwarts, and that game being pretty much exactly the type of experience I was looking for in that Hogwarts world. I think for me personally, it's going to pip out Starfield just for next year for me. Because I have waited since those, and they weren't exactly the most amazing games back in the day, but they were still fun. They were good. The Harry Potter games all the way back on the PS2 and
Harry
stuff
Potter,
like that.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Yeah. So I'm really right now. That's my most anticipated game out of any game that's releasing out of the rest of this year and next year is Hogwarts. I've got my eyes on plenty of games, but if I had one game that's at the top of my list, that's when it comes out, every other game can go to the backlog and it can just sit there and wait.
I know, waiting line, going back.
Yeah, I'm just going to get so lost in that game. It's probably going to take up a good portion of my time.
I think Starfield, for me personally, is going to do the same. And did they wait? I'm trying to remember, my love, because sometimes I have a mind like Dory. That's just a joke, by the way. So it's Starfield. That's going to be multiplayer, right? Because I was trying to remember.
Hang on a minute. I think they said it. I mean, obviously it's going to be single player. That's quite obvious.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. No, it's not. No.
So single
it's not.
player.
It's a single player game with absolutely no multiplayer game. Bethesda themselves has stated that.
Okay. That's okay. Even
so
if it's not multiplayer, it's okay.
Solo only. Yeah, it's a solo only game.
It's all good.
But hey, that game is so big. Like, it's going to be like any of their massive games. Like, I mean, Skyrim. Like, Christ, I'm only probably about halfway through that damn game, and I just keep playing it. I'll play it for a few months. I'll put it down. Go play some other things. Otherwise, it'll do to me what World of Warcraft used to do to me. Just take all my bloody time. Like, I remember I used to come home from work, this before kids, and it was Warcraft. That was it. That was my life. I just got too sucked into it. I'm like, oh, God. So in a sense, as much as I love that game, I was kind of happy that it kind of lost its flair and sort of stopped, because I was like, hey, this is the only way I was going to get off this damn thing.
Oh, you're funny.
It just absorbed me, and Skyrim did the same for ages, and I have a feeling, Starfield will probably do the exact same thing as well. It'll just absorb people, especially that space exploration. And that's fascinating to a lot of people around the world. And with Todd Howard's storytelling, the game's going to be off the chart. Realistically, that's going to be, if I'm going to say there's going to be 2 games next year fighting an out game in the year, I'll say it'll be that and Hogwarts. And because I also think they are going to be the two biggest in scale, the biggest games released next year. There'll be some fantastic games released next year, but I don't think you're going to find any other games on the pure scale of Starfield and Hogwarts. Like, they're going to be long, big games.
Right.
Big, yeah.
Starfield, when I first watched a reveal trailer where they showed more, I was like, oh, okay, this is looking like No Man's Sky, because I played No Man's Sky, and that game is priceless. The only thing that's grindy is looking for the things you need to create, like your, live in situations. Like, you have to build stuff to just live on the planet or whatever. But other than that, I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of looking No Man's Sky-ish. I like that. You can fly into space, all the other stuff. I like that, And then I was like, oh, snap, you get a gun. I was like, oh, you get to hunt for, what's the name of, they're like raiders, that steal treasure and stuff. I guess just call them raiders. So you get to like shoot people and collect stuff. Right. I was like, okay, this is definitely, now it's like, I was like, okay, this beats No Man's Sky. Because No Man's Sky, for real, because No Man's Sky, I loved how you could like literally go into your spaceship and you can literally see yourself taking off into space, and you go into the sky and you can see the planets. It's beautiful, babe. It's beautiful, especially when you see the planets. And when you're about to land on the planet, you literally like land on the planet. Like, you can see yourself going fast and everything, and then you see like the land. Oh, it's beautiful. That's my favorite part of No Man's Sky. But when it comes to like the collecting stuff, that's like, okay, I'm getting bored now. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, survival. I get that part. But I'm like, but that's the only thing I love about it. But yeah, this Starfield, that beats No Man's Sky. That definitely beats that. So,
yeah.
And that reminds me of like Destiny. Originally, they had the original plan for Destiny to where you can actually look at your cockpit and see yourself take off into space like No Man's Sky. That was the original plan, but they scratched that idea. I wish they didn't. Then they had another plan where you could actually trade weapons and stuff with your teammates on Destiny, but they didn't go with that plan. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then they had another one where you can actually have a pet. You can own a pet, take it on the adventures with you. That never happened. So I'm like, okay.
Of course.
Because Tiger Man, they mentioned some character named Tiger Man and stuff like that. So anyway, they said there's a whole bunch in that game that they had to take out, or it was too much to put on like one disc. So they had to like spread it out type of thing. So it was because there was a lot of content. So I still remember that, seeing the blueprints from that game and everything. And some people didn't know that. I was like, yeah, they had so much content. They had to like separate everything. That's why there's a whole bunch of DLCs. Because, and then they added stuff later on, but that's why Destiny is so huge. But if you have not played Destiny, oh my gosh, I'm like freaking, well, since the new DLC came out, I'm like 3 DLCs behind now. But I'm gonna catch up and get the other ones, because the last one I played was when Cade was alive. And after what happened to Cade, I was like, okay, I'm done for now. So that's the last time I played Destiny, was after what happened to Cade. So I was hella pissed, but I understand the voice actor who played Cade had other projects to do. So I understand that, and that's why they got this other character up on there that I guess isn't a replacement of Cade, but I'm like, Cade was cooler. No offense to the new guy, but I like Cade better. And the thing that pissed me off is you saw like more action in a cutscene from Cade than when he was just hanging, at the hangar, with his chicken. So I'm like, well, no wonder they had him go out with a bang, because he hardly did anything except, all he did was talk to you and give you missions and stuff. But when it was his time, they showed like this big old cutscene, him fighting and all that stuff, and that was it with Cade. I was like, you serious? Like, that's it? Like,
yeah.
So I was very disappointed. But again, it is what it is. The voice actor had to move on to bigger and better things. And yeah. So that's that. But I will most definitely get back into Destiny when I'm ready. I'm not giving up on that game. And plus I love the storyline. So, and I want to catch up on all the characters and what's going on. So yeah. Babe, have you played Destiny yet or no?
I've played. Never played the second one, but I played the original.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's another game that has awesome boss fights. Really awesome boss fights. I don't even know why I didn't think about that in the first place, but oh,
yes,
excuse me.
It does.
But yeah, Destiny has wonderful boss fights as well. Big ones, small ones. They can be a pain in the butt because you feel like you're dying over 9,000 times, but that's why you got to have a good group of people with you when it comes to those raids. Most definitely. And the class that I use mostly, because I have a warlock. Well, I have all the classes made, but I mostly used hunter. That was my main class. Still is my main class. My second favorite's warlock. And then the third one is, what's the third class? There's hunter, warlock. See, it's been a minute. I already forgot the third damn class. It's been a minute. But anyway, you guys get the point. So hunter was my main on Destiny. So I would use that. Are there other things in the gaming news that I have left out, babe? Like anything you would like to bring up? Anything you would like to add? Off the top of your head that we have not mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, like...
It could be anything. I'm not trying to put you on spot or anything, but...
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that we know that's in the news, I mean, we covered it on the Bastards yesterday. I think everyone else has pretty much covered it, as we know, because something new seems to pop up each week when it pertains to this whole ABK deal, and I don't think we're going to hear the end of it, or hear the end of the whinging and the bitching, the moaning, and until this deal is done.
Thank you, Jesse.
It's
Titan.
the, like,
Go ahead,
it's
babe,
like
sorry.
the one bit of news that you can damn well count on each week at the moment is this ABK freak, right? Because, you know, like, realistically, the last 2 weeks has been kind of slow news weeks when it pertains to the gaming news week, except when it pertains to this deal. And something new comes out every week. Something new from whether it's from the regulators or one of the regulators, or something new from a statement from Jim Ryan, or this week it's Xbox finally, let's just say, growing a set instead of playing friendly like they have been, and biting back, which is about damn time. I've wanted them for the longest time to sort of take that, go back to the days of Peter Moore. You're in business. Competition ain't going to play nice with you, and they're playing aggressive. You've got to play the same way, right? Mm-hmm. And I said it best yesterday. Phil has tried. I love Phil, but he's tried the whole nice approach. We've seen him, since he got in charge, praise Jim, praise Sony, praise their devs, congratulate them at every turn, at anything that they've done well. He congratulated them on the PlayStation 5, the release of that. He's congratulated most recently about their upcoming PSVR 2. So every turn he's done that, it's never been, that niceness, I guess you could say, has never ever been reciprocated.
Right.
And, they kind of needed to take a stand on it, I guess you could say, because every other regulator, bar the CMA, is looking at this deal from a more logical standpoint. All these different mobs, all these different regulators, they're in place for two reasons, and two reasons alone, as we know, people. They are in place for the consumer. Is this deal or is that deal fair for consumers? How is it going to affect the consumer? And not just a specific consumer, the consumer as a whole.
Right.
And fair and balanced competition. Right?
Right.
But out of all the regulators looking over this, the CMA is not doing their job properly, or that's what it appears. What it appears is they are trying to look after the interests of Sony. And like the Brazilian regulators said, and like the Saudi Arabia regulators said, and from all little trickles of information coming out from the EU regulators, who, by the seams of it, are going to have the same exact outcome of decision as Brazil and Saudi Arabia, because they're taking the more logical point of view, is the CMA needs to pull their finger out their ass and stop protecting anyone's interests, or in this case, obviously, they're protecting Sony's interest and Sony's stature. That's not what you're there for. That's not what you should be basing your decision on. So it was good to see Microsoft not only bite back at what Sony's complaints are, but bite back at the CMA, pretty much in their own words, pointing out, you're looking at this all the wrong way. You're only looking at it and going in with Sony's viewpoints and Sony's questions. You're not looking at it from, well, they're, out of the two of us, they're in first place, we're in dead last. Like I mentioned yesterday on the podcast, Microsoft's considered 7th in the PC market. They're not even ranked in mobile. And you've got one of the number ones in gaming. Is how ridiculous it is, people. One of the number ones, or considered up there, and they're the ones whinging. It's really like, why are you whinging? You know what I mean? Why are you whinging? You know, so I'd just like to see them stop whinging and just knuckle down, get back to what we know that they're good at. You know, what Sony's good at, and that's putting out those quality games. Right. And that's what they're known for. They've got the track record to back it up. And I just want this bloody deal to hurry up and just go, because I think there's a lot of people that's in the same boat as me. We're sick of bloody hearing about the damn thing. I think it's like, just make a decision. You're either going to let Microsoft buy the bastard, or you're just going to, or you're not.
Why are you dragging it on? Like, make up your mind already.
But no, I think at the moment, by the looks of things, every single regulator is going to approve it. It's the CMA that's been the bastard at the moment,
right?
And that's holding things up, and they're going to continue to hold things up, because they're right now they're just listening to Sony, whereas, you know, the other regulators have already come back with a decision. Oh, they heard Sony's complaints, but, like, you know, basically in Brazil's words, we don't care, because you're only looking out for yourself, and it is not our job to protect your market lead. Or your business interests, and that's not what these regulators are in place for. So I just hope, as I said, and I'll leave it on this, the CMA needs to look at all these other regulators and how they are coming to their decision and how they are looking at this, and stop protecting a company, or the company, that when you think of gaming, they're the ones in the position of power. They don't need your help. They don't need your help. They're in a position of power, and they're in a position of power, and they've been slapping Microsoft around without even having the deep pockets, and they've been doing it for years. So for them to suggest that if this deal goes through that they can't compete, I think that's why 90% of people are coming back and saying, Jim, be quiet. That is the biggest load of shit that has come out of your mouth. And it is. He is afraid of something happening that's just not going to happen. You know?
Right.
They all of a sudden are not going to lose half their player base. I said this yesterday. They've got loyal fans over there. They're not going to sell their PlayStations to cross over to another console just to play Call of Duty when they could stay on their preferred console. And if need be, right? If need be, we know for the next 7 years they don't have to worry about this. But let's say after 7 years, Microsoft goes, all right, we own this, so we can do whatever we want. We're going to take it exclusive.
Right.
It's still... The only part it will hurt Sony, and I think that's probably why Jim's whinging, is they're so used to, because they've always had the marketing for so long for Call of Duty, missing out on the revenue from just the marketing. Oh, I'm sorry, that's tough shit. It's tough shit, right? You could have been at the table too, but you weren't. You know, it's tough shit. You're going to lose the market, so what? But you keep the game. The players still get to play the game, right? Microsoft is just doing what yous have been doing to Microsoft and Nintendo for years. And this is where everybody as a whole, the whole gaming industry needs to look at. If yous are going to be okay for Sony to do the type of deals that they do and do what they've been doing for years, then it's got to be okay for Xbox to do the same thing, and it's got to be okay for Nintendo and any other player to play the game the same way, because you cannot have one set of rules for one company and go, we'll turn a blind eye, Sony can do whatever the hell they want, they can pay to keep whatever that, you know, do all that, keep games off other things. But if Microsoft wants, or Nintendo, or Amazon, or whoever the hell else comes into it wants to try doing what Sony, no, it's not okay. No, it's everybody's got to be on an even playing field. What's good for one can be good for the other.
Right.
And that's one big thing I'd like to see change. Right? I really would. As I said, these regulators, what you should be looking at is Sony's in the position of power. They've done deals over the years to keep stuff off of other consoles or other devices. They've locked stuff down for 1, 2, even 3 year periods before it hits anything out, right? So they've done all these types of deals, and now they're only crying foul because it's not them doing it.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. They need to just be quiet and let the other companies, not even just specifically Microsoft, but you need to let your competition, whoever that is, compete with you the same way you've been competing for years with everybody else.
Right. Yeah, they need to make a decision, man. For real.
And it's not going to,
6 years later.
From what I can gather, there won't be a decision until next year. That's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully it's finalised by about March or April, but who knows? It all depends on how long Sony and the CMA. As I said, I think that's really the only hump, because every other regulators so far, well, 2 have already approved. The EU looks like it'll likely go the same way as Brazil and Saudi. The FTC will probably just pass it as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's the CMA, and as long as the CMA with Sony want to dig their heels in, this deal ain't getting done anytime soon. They'll draw this out, and they'll keep drawing it out. You know, mind you, this could all be for absolutely nothing, and probably very likely is for nothing for Sony. Like, they're going to do this, they're going to drag it out, and the deal's probably still going to go through in the end. And then they kind of will have egg on their face and go, geez, for the last 12 months, we've been wasting our time here whinging, hoping that this would go in our favour, and it hasn't. And now, because we've only been focused on doing this, now we're behind in other areas now, including game releases, because because we've been too focused on fighting this. Which
you did it to yourself.
It could very well be, and again, likely, a losing battle for Sony. Like, this could all be, as I said, it could all be for nothing, and the deal just goes through with no restrictions, and then Sony, as I said, has to sit there quietly then, and you get it for the next 7 years, but then you got to see what happens after that, because Microsoft will obviously officially own it.
Right. Yeah. All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on that, my love.
Yes.
and finest. Thank you so much for stopping by. Since you popped in.
Brother Infinite.
Let me see.
GOG family in the house.
Yes. CMA. Oh, Jesse says CMA has till March, I think, to poop or get off the pot.
Oh, I love it, Jess. I love the way you put that.
That was awesome, Jesse. Oh
we should have gone with the I'll add it now. We'll go with the Stephen A reference. They need to get off the weed, man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, gotta love Stephen A.
Oh, there's something that I forgot to play at the beginning of the stream. Uno momento.
Congratulations, you are still alive. Most people are so ungrateful to be alive, but not you. Not anymore.
Alrighty. A message from Jigsaw. Oh, I love those movies. Okay. I just want to give a quick thank you to the love of my life, Spooky Sprocket, for being here tonight and sharing your awesome thoughts. It's always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you very much. Lovely. I was glad that I made it back.
Yes.
As I said, I was at the old cemetery going to see the old grandpop. So
yes,
it's a bit of an anniversary day, and but it was good. It was good catching up with some family and sharing some stories on the old boy there too. So that was it was good. I was glad to come back and help you out.
Heck yeah. Also, I want to thank the chat. I want to thank, hold on, let me start at the beginning. Pong Soul, who had to head to bed, but he stopped by to say hello. Thank you so much for stopping by, Pong. It's always a pleasure having you, sir. And it's a pleasure watching your podcast along with the rest of the fam. So thank you for all that you do. Cyber Gunter, man, my brother from another mother. Thank you for stopping by, sir. Cyber and I go way back. He's known me, I think before Mixer. So we've been friends ever since then. He's awesome. Geeks with Cash, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Let's see who else. Dragon Heart Yobi, thank you so much for stopping by, sir. It's always a pleasure. And let's see, Jesse B, thank you so much for coming by. And Finest, I feel like I'm saying his name wrong.
Infinite.
Thank you. My bad. Infinite. I don't know why I say Infinest. I'm always butchering stuff. My bad. Infinite. My apologies, Infinite.
No, he'd probably like that. He'd be going around now.
He'd be like, oh, that's smooth. I like that even better.
I'm the finest. Yeah, you watch him. Come next week on the Retro Renegades. He goes, you know what, boys? I'm the finest.
Oh my gosh.
I'm the finest of the lot.
My bad for butchering your name. Oh my gosh, I give him ideas.
He's not the fairest maiden in the land. He's the finest.
Infinite. You're giving him ideas now. He'd be like, "Watch out, boys! I'm the finest." Giggity giggity. Oh right.
He'll run with it. I'm telling you.
At Pitfoo. Yobi, it is such a pleasure, brother, seeing you here. Yobi, I've known for a while too. I think even before Mixer. Yeah, he's a sweetheart. You guys gotta follow Yobi if you can on Twitter. He's awesome. Jesse B, everybody in chat, follow each other. You guys are awesome. But I believe most of you follow each other already. But give each other a follow if you haven't already. We're all family here, so that'll be awesome. Okay, I have an announcement before you guys leave. Okay, let me get my thing up here so I can see. I'm a natural rhymer. I don't do it on purpose. I've been doing that since I was a kid, by the way. So it's like if you hear me rhyme, like on time and stuff, it just comes natural to me. So it's one of those
natural rhymer.
Rare things.
Green Slimer.
Now you're making me sound like a rapper. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me get my thing up here. Okay, first, well, actually, it's the only announcement. No, yes, only announcement. All right. Uno momento, por favor. Alrighty then, we have the Backlog Bastards, starring the breathtaking one, Bushido N7 and Charlie Hustle. On Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. You guys don't want to miss these guys. These guys are awesome. They're the bomb diggity, they're cheeky, and they talk about all the latest video game news that you are looking forward to hear. And I hope to see you guys there. Alright, thank you so much for hanging with all of us on this awesome pod. I will be seeing you guys again tomorrow, and I hope to see you guys again. Have a wonderful night, and stay metal, stay true, stay you, and remember to play what you want whenever you want. Alright, have a good night, guys.
Thanks for coming out, everyone, and supporting. Much appreciated as always. Love yous all. Have a great rest of the evening. Catch us next time.
Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my play.
I don't know why I've been holding that in all day. I have to say it. I'll get words stuck in the head and I was like trying to fucking like to get it out of the system. And I couldn't exactly do that while I was fucking where I was earlier with walk up to me, pop grave and go, babies. I mean, he would have fucking laughed if he was. He would have fucking, of course, he would have laughed. He didn't mind. He didn't mind having a look at some old, some fucking boobies. So he would have understood it. But everyone else probably would have looked at me funny, going, "Why the fuck are you going up to your grandfather's fucking grave going boobies?" It's just a thing that me fucking did, alright. Boobies, yeah. No, it was a running joke. It was a running joke with me, him, and she's like, yeah, he goes down to fucking league club, and the reason why he doesn't come home so fucking late, he's down there chatting up all the young fucking barmen. Not really, he was always very sweet to them, but Christ almighty, all those barmaids out, he was old enough, well and truly old enough to be their granddaddy too. But no, he was just like, he was very polite, and he could be very cheeky, but he'd be like, oh, that's a beautiful little, that's where I get the whole beautiful little flower. He's cool, more beautiful little flowers. These beautiful little, he goes, yeah, that's my girlfriends down the club. They look after me, they serve me my food and me beers, and they did too. That's why my nan's like, yeah, and I appreciate it too, at least someone's fucking looking out for you out there. He goes, I wouldn't fucking look after you down there. There's only look after you if you're home. If you're not home, well, tough shit. If you're not home, you're not my fucking problem. You're their problem. No, they were always, it was just how cheeky they were. They'd been married that fucking long, so there was no fucking, he always came home because he loved his wife. But he was just, that's just how he was. He's very old school. He was always polite. And like he said, if the bar staff, if they were female and they were good looking, he's going to tell them they're good. Hey, you're good looking, and you work bloody hard too. That's good to see. You know, praise them. You know, give them a compliment, and praise them. It made them all feel they all fucking love my grandfather. You know, that's probably why they went a little bit above and beyond for him, because, you know, they knew they never had to worry about him, you know, like, as in, he wasn't going to be one of those patrons that have to worry about, you know, grabbing their ass or something like that. He was too much of a gentleman for that shit. But, like, he'd come, oh, you're a gorgeous little flower, aren't you? Gonna make some fella bloody happy one of these days. He'd say something like that, you know. Well, some men will be bloody happy to have you. You feed them bloody well, know how to pour a beer, and yeah, they really know how to look after someone. Make a bloke feel really good about himself. Nah, he's always good to put them all down there, all that. That's why Nan said, yeah, that's all his girlfriends down the pub. Oh dear. Auntie's supposed to be back sometime. She fucking got to tell. She took Kyrie to a park because she was waiting on Summer to get home because she's taking Summer for the weekend.